is guilty? Fairy tale mock trial. Little Red Riding Hood. Who is guilty? Little Red Riding Hood's case. Your Honor and ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the defendant has been charged with the crime of murder of Wolf. She was on the way to see her sick grandmother when she met Wolf in the woods. After she was lost, she recklessly told Wolf where she was going. The wolf took a shortcut to her grandmother's house and swallowed her grandmother. He then disguised himself as her grandmother and waited for Little Red Riding Hood. And when she came, he also ate her up. A hunter happened to pass nearby, saw the wolf with big stomach and in sleep, heard the voices for help from Wolf's belly, and decided to cut his belly to save them. After being saved by the hunter, Little Red Riding Hood went outside to collect a lot of stones and put them into the wolf's stomach, which eventually led him to die. Little Red Riding Hood, therefore, is charged with murder of Wolf as stated in the Article 199 of the Criminal Codes. Scene 1. Do you have any objection to the statement made by the prosecutor? Asked the judge, turning to the defendant Little Red Riding Hood. No, said the Little Red Riding Hood. But I don't remember much of what happened at that time, she replied with a timid voice. Any objection? The judge turned around and looked at Little Red Riding Hood's defender. The defender stood up. I cannot object to the fact that she killed Wolf. However, she developed mental disorder by being eaten by the wolf. In fact, she was in a state of insanity, under which she was not able to judge what is right or wrong, thus once unable to control herself. Therefore, she should be found not guilty, as stated in the Article 39 of the Criminal Codes. Under the Article 39 of the Criminal Codes, the acts of insane person or a person with mental disorder are exempt from criminal liability. Was Little Red Riding Hood in a state of insanity when she killed Wolf? This will be the main issue of this case. Scene 2. The mother of Wolf came as a witness to testify. A big pile of stones is placed in front of the witness. The prosecutor stood up and started to talk. Scene 2. Please take a look at this pile of stones. These are the stones stuffed in your son's stomach. The hole for putting the stones inside his stomach was sewn very roughly, and his stomach was so swollen with these stones that it seemed ready to explode. I just cannot believe so many stones could be inside his stomach. He must have been suffering so much. It is indeed a very cruel way to kill. I know that it was bad and wrong to attack her grandmother, but still, he doesn't deserve to be killed like this. Then, Wolf's mother turned around and walked towards Little Red Riding Hood. Little Red Riding Hood was intimidated. You deserve to be punished for this. Please give me back my son. Scene 3. Next, it was the defender's turn to ask her some questions. The defender stood up and turned his face to the wolf's mother. You said just now that Little Red Riding Hood deserves to be punished for this. However, a person who is in a state of insanity does things without realizing whether it is right or wrong. Even if you punish such a person, she would not understand what she is being punished for, therefore would have a very small chance of being rehabilitated. That is why it is stated that the acts of insanity are exempt from criminal liability under the law. It is not fair. You're saying that a person with mental disorder can do anything, even if it's a crime, and get away with it? I did not say that they can do anything and get away with it. I am only saying that we cannot impose legal penalty. But how do you know that she was in a state of insanity? The defender turns himself to the jurors. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I have brought here the report on the result of the mental examination of the defendant conducted by the psychiatrist. I will read the summary now. In the report, the defendant seems to have fallen into a hypoxic condition inside the stomach of the wolf, which led her to become half-conscious. She was also psychologically traumatized by this life-threatening experience. Therefore, Little Red Riding Hood was, at the time when the incident occurred, in a state of insanity. That can't be true! Scene 4. The defense may call its first witness, said the judge, and Little Red Riding Hood's grandmother came as a witness to testify. The defender asked her questions. Can you tell us what happened on the day of the incident? That day, I ate lunch and was about to take a nap when Wolf came inside my house all of a sudden and swallowed me in one gulp. Then, what happened? I fainted inside his stomach. I didn't regain my consciousness even after I was saved, so the hunter rushed out of my house to call a doctor, I heard. You then regained your consciousness and saw everything that happened there, I believe. Yes, I saw my grandchild putting many stones into the wolf's stomach. What did she look like that time? She was putting stones as if she was possessed, saying, I don't want to die, I don't want to die. I just didn't know what to say to her. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, she was under the state of insanity, which eventually led her to kill Wolf in order to save her own life, according to the psychiatric evaluation. I have been taking care of her ever since she was a small child. She really is a very good girl. She never was, nor is, the kind of the girl who could kill someone. Never. That time when she did it, she wasn't herself. Scene 5. Little Red Riding Hood's grandmother was asked this time to answer questions of the prosecutor. On the day when Wolf came to attack you, you said he came out of the blue. Did you not lock the door? I do all the time. I thought I did on that day as well. I see. You also said that after being swallowed by Wolf, you fainted and don't remember anything. Is it correct? That's correct. My grandchild woke me up, and then I saw what happened. She woke you up, did you say? That's right. She shook me awake. She shook you awake before she started putting stones? I think that's because she was worried about me. Worried? A person you described as if she was possessed was worried about you and shook you awake. Perhaps. She wanted to show you the side of her putting stones. What does that mean? Maybe to show you how insane she was, so that you would testify it in court. It would make it easier for her to be considered legally insane. You're saying that she is not in a state of insanity. She was just pretending to be legally insane, isn't it? Objection, Your Honor. It's only a speculation. I have no further questions, Your Honor. Scene 6. Next, Little Red Riding Hood was called for testimony. Defender started asking questions. Can you tell me about the day when you met Wolf? He started talking to me so nicely. He asked me where I was going, and I told him where my grandmother lives. And then he talked to me I should pick some flowers for my grandmother, so I decided to pick flowers on the way. While you were picking flowers, he went to your grandmother's house and swallowed her. Yes, he then waited for me and ate me as well. You must have felt very scared. What was it like to be inside his stomach? I couldn't breathe. I felt suffocated and my head started aching. Did you notice that your grandmother was also in his stomach? Yes, I called her many times, but she didn't answer me. I thought she died already. My dear grandma was dead in front of me, and I was so scared that I would also die like her. I tried and tried to get out, but I couldn't. It's okay now. After that, the hunter saved you and your grandmother. Is it correct? Yes, but I don't remember exactly what happened after we came out of his stomach. When I realized Wolf was already dead, I still cannot believe what I did to him. I'm so scared that there's something else inside me. It was the prosecutor's turn to ask questions. The prosecutor turned to Little Red Riding Hood. There's something that doesn't sit right with me. This is the knife that the hunter used to cut Wolf's stomach. This was in front of you when you came out from his stomach. He was in a deep sleep. You could stab him with this knife. In that way, you could make sure to kill him in a second. However, you did not use this. Why is that? I am not sure. But I guess I was too unconscious to see it or to think straight. Why did you need to put so many stones in his stomach to kill him then? I don't remember. You could have thought that putting stones in the stomach instead of stabbing him would make it look like you were not of sound mind, thus regarded as non compos mentis, couldn't you? I don't know. There's another thing that doesn't make sense to me. You said that wolf that you met in the woods was nice to you. He was a man-eating wolf. He could have eaten you there in the woods when he met you. Why are you asking me that question? You should ask that to Wolf, not to me. Truth is that he attacked you in the woods, isn't it? You were terrified, and you begged for your life by saying, "You can eat my grandmother instead of me." Objection, Your Honor. That's a leading question. Defender interrupted. The judge started talking to the prosecutor. Do you have any grounds for your statement? Yes, Your Honor. There was this at the corner of the room where the incident took place, turning to the Little Red Riding Hood. This, as you can see, the key to the door of my grandmother's house. And whose is it? I had it. We found Wolf's fingerprints on this key. Wolf used this key to enter your grandmother's house and ate her. My question is, why did Wolf have the key that belonged to you? That's because you gave it to Wolf by saying that he can eat your grandmother instead of you, didn't you? And you didn't want your grandmother, your beloved grandmother, to find out about the truth that you let Wolf eat her. That's why you killed him, so that he couldn't tell the truth. No, he stole my key while I was picking flowers. I have no further questions, Your Honor. The jurors looked at each other. They wondered why Wolf did not eat Little Red Riding Hood first, but instead took the key. They also wondered why on earth he could know that it was the key to her grandmother's house. Your Honor and ladies and gentlemen of the jury, with the fact that Little Red Riding Hood shook her grandmother awake before she started putting stones in Wolf's stomach, and that she took the brutal method to kill him, show that she had the intention of killing Wolf, and she was just pretending to be in the state of insanity. Furthermore, Wolf had Little Red Riding Hood's key. This is the proof that she gave him the key so as to save her own life in exchange with her grandmother's. After being saved by the hunter, she had the motive to kill Wolf. She didn't want her grandmother to find out about the fact that she tried to save her life by letting Wolf eat her beloved grandmother. Based on these grounds, you must find the defendant guilty. Your Honor, and ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we must keep in mind that it is the fact that the defendant was once eaten by Wolf. Being swallowed alive, she was exposed to great fear of being murdered, which eventually caused her mental disorder. This is proven by this report on the result of the mental examination on her. This kind of brutal murder can never be done by a person with healthy mentality. Therefore, you must find her not guilty.